Good morning, Trust Riazi, coach and hypnotherapist. Okay, so today's video is about what to do as well as what not to do when you find yourself in a slump or in a funk or whatever it is that you want to call it. When you're kind of in that bad mood and you're feeling unmotivated, unhappy, and you're just kind of stuck there, okay? So first off, I want to share what not to do when this happens, because a lot of times we fall victim to these traps and we find that it actually makes it worse. Okay, so what not to do. So first off, when I'm in this slump, what I'm cautious and mindful about not doing is not judging myself. Okay, so trying your best not to judge yourself and judge your feelings. So a lot of times when we get into these moods, if you will, we're really good at saying, oh, this is stupid. I shouldn't feel this way. I should be over this by now. Whatever it is, right? Fill in the blank, because we're really great at kind of judging how we think we should be feeling. And that's problem number one, okay? So making sure that when you're in this funk, when you're in this mood, that you're trying your best not to judge it. Your emotions are your emotions, right? And whether or not you want those to be there, they're still there and there's still value behind them, okay? So that's number one. Don't judge how you are feeling in the moment. And alongside with that is making sure that you're not getting impatient with yourself, right? And that's really hard to do when you want to get out of this mood. But trust me when I say that it's counterproductive. It's not going to help you, okay? So that's the first two. The other thing I want you to make sure that you're mindful about not doing is making sure that you're trying your best to avoid reaching out to toxic and unsupportive people. What do I mean by this? So what I mean is, don't call that person on the phone that's going to make you feel worse. Don't call that person on the phone that's going to go, oh, you think your problem's bad? Look at my problem, right? I think we've all had friends like that. Don't call that person. Don't reach out to people that are not supportive, that are not empathetic, and they're kind of trying to one-up you, or they're magnifying the problem even more, or they're making it worse, okay? So that's the next tip that I have for you to not do when you're looking to feel better. The other thing you want to be mindful about not doing is kind of catastrophizing your feelings and allowing that circumstance to snowball into something much bigger, right? Gaining perspective in those moments is huge. It's so crucial. And I think we've all been there, where we have moments where we start off with one problem in our life and we're just kind of letting it stew and we're not feeling good. And then all of a sudden it branches out to more and more problems. And before you know it, our whole life feels like it's falling apart because it just kind of snowballs into these really big things. Don't do that, okay? So trying your best to not allow it to become something bigger than it already is, okay? So dissecting it down to, okay, this is what's going on right now, and accepting it, working on it, but not allowing it to be magnified and catastrophized and kind of snowballed into something much bigger. And I know that's easier said than done when you're kind of in this funk, right? Okay, the next thing that you don't want to do is bury your head under the covers, right? It's okay for us to feel how we're feeling, and again, there's value to understanding it and working with it, but you're not going to quit your job. You're not going to bury your head and go, okay, I'm not going to get out of bed today. Right? Because is that going to make anything better? Of course not. Are there times where I do that? Sure. There's times where I have those moments that I'm going, okay, today's my day. Today's my day where I'm kind of in a funk. I'm not feeling fantastic. I'm going to watch Netflix today. I'm not going to do anything. It doesn't happen very much because I have kids, but it does happen, and that's okay. But what am I doing after that day? I'm not staying there. I'm not burying my head and quitting my job and staying there, right? And you shouldn't either. I don't think you are. Okay, so that's kind of what not to do, right? When we're in a funk, when we're looking to feel better. Now let's talk about some things that you can do and should be doing to get you feeling better. So the first thing that I do is I examine the situation, okay? So a lot of times we're really great at being autopilot and being reactive and just kind of going through the motions. But we have to pause and we have to kind of examine what's going on. Well, get curious with it. Why am I feeling this way? Why do I think this is coming up for me? Right? So getting curious with it and examining it allows you to better understand it. And once you better understand it, you can better let go of it. Okay, so start working with it and asking yourself those kinds of questions. Why do I think that I'm feeling this way? Where do I think this is coming from? Was there something that triggered me? What's going on here? So don't just be reactive. Don't just go through the motions and be on autopilot when this happens. Okay, so that's the first thing I do is I examine it. The next thing I do is I ask myself, what is it that I need in this moment? Okay, so if I got my feelings hurt, if I'm feeling unmotivated or unproductive, if I'm feeling like I am having moments of not being a good mom, or I'm feeling overwhelmed, or I'm lacking confidence, or there's relationship difficulties. I mean, life stuff that everybody has, right? So in that moment, I'm saying, what is it that I need right now? What is it that I need? And it's not going to be a magic wand necessarily, and it's not going to be a cure-all, but what is it that's going to help me right now, right? And I take action. I do that. And there's times where I don't want to do that at all. There's times where I don't want to do it at all, but I still do it, right? Because I want to feel better. And I know that I'm going to feel better by doing it. So if that means going for a walk and listening to a new audiobook or a podcast, I'm doing it. If that means having that bubble bath with a cup of tea, I'm doing it. If that means I'm calling that supportive friend, keyword supportive, then I'm doing that, right? But I'm taking action. I'm not staying there. I'm not dwelling. I'm taking action to allow myself to start feeling more inspired, to start feeling more motivated, and to also start feeling more in control.